Hi everyone, welcome to this week's reading, and this is for the week of August 28th through to the 3rd of September 2017. And so for this week, as usual, I'll talk about the astrology to start with, and then I'll get into the cards that I'm using. Tarot cards. These cards are the Mythic Tarot, one of my favourite decks. So, okay, so this week, I mentioned it last week that just over the weekend we had Saturn stationing direct. Saturn is moving direct now. So I also posted a little update about this on my Facebook page. With this, it's really important for everybody. When Saturn starts to move direct, there's a feeling of being able to move forward with plans, and like serious plans, long-term plans, kind of next step, bigger issues in your life now. So you might have felt blocked from big changes before, whereas now is more the time that you can implement big changes and have things go a little bit more smoothly. Now this is going to affect everybody, but in particular if you are a Capricorn, because Saturn rules Capricorn, if you are an Aquarius, because Saturn co-rules Aquarius, and also if you're a Sagittarius, because Saturn is actually in the sign of Sagittarius until the end of this year. And so for you Sagittarians, it's the end of a long cycle, and by the time Saturn moves out of your sign, things will really start to improve for you. I've mentioned that before, but it's a big significant change because Saturn spends a couple of years in each sign. So the other stuff going on this week, we still have Mercury retrograde until the 6th of September, so bearing that in mind, and it will retrograde back to the later degrees of Leo. So it will have effects on those early degree or early born Virgo people especially, or if you're born late in Leo, it's going to affect you as well. But as I say, Mercury retrograde does affect everybody. Double check facts, information, important emails. If you're sending parcels, double check addresses, all that type of thing to do with detail. And it's even more pronounced because it is Mercury in Virgo retrograde. And before it starts to go direct, as I said, it will go into the later degrees of Leo. So when it's the later degrees of Leo, it's going to be more to do with heart-to-heart communications, maybe some really emotional communications for some people, and things from the past possibly being resolved as well. So early this week, other stuff we have going on, Moon square Mercury, and that's kind of happening Monday, Tuesday. And that can cause some confusion because, the Moon square to Mercury is already some emotional confusion with your thoughts. So maybe trying not, for some people it could manifest as trying not to think too much because it can be bringing up painful emotions, or it can be a case of some confusion with regards to, your emotional self and your mental self, what you want versus what you need, confusion in that regard, confusion with communications with females as well. For most of this week we also have Jupiter making a sextile to Saturn, so that's a positive aspect, and this is, it is a good time now to really make positive changes in your life. With the sextile, it's a softer aspect, but with those big planets, Jupiter and Saturn, one's in Libra, one's in Sagittarius, it's about, there is a lot of thinking energy in regards to what you want for your future and what you're trying to implement, changes you're trying to implement, and maybe even making small changes where you can to get things progressing in the direction that you want them to. Thursday through to Sunday, we have transiting Mars making a positive trine aspect to Uranus in Aries. So this is interesting because this is a very positive angle, and with creative Mars in Leo, the drive is very strong, and making that trine to Uranus in Aries, it's almost like if we push forward with boldness and positivity in the direction that we want, there could be some really positive, unexpected elements that crop up and help us in the process, synchronicities, things like that. So especially if you're late born fire sign, so all those fire signs that are born towards the end of their sign, that's a very positive influence for you this week. One slight thing that I noticed with Friday is Mars in Leo makes an awkward aspect to Chiron in Pisces. So there can be a case, of, again, for the late born Leos or late born fixed signs, which would be Taurus, Scorpio, or Aquarius as well, there can be some painful emotions coming up this week on Friday, and it's particularly going to be affecting those fixed signs. And it could be that there's painful emotions coming up, but you just are still trying to push ahead anyway, because you're trying not to let those emotions interfere with your day-to-day life. So maybe something to pay attention to, or maybe something that you just need to get on with anyway with the day-to-day, because it may be interfering with what you need to get done. And that's pretty much it for the week for the astrology. As I said, the big key thing is, you know, big planet Saturn moving direct, but next week Mercury goes direct, and then also next week Mars moves out of Leo into Virgo. So, you know, this week it's a good time to, if you can, make time for yourself to catch up on doing nice things for yourself if you have time. Because when Mars goes into Virgo, work becomes a big focal point, and duties, health, routine, and it's very much getting back into the slog of things. So if you get a chance this week to do something nice, definitely take the opportunity. Let's see what cards come up for this week. And if you would like a personal reading from me, follow the links below to my online store, and the turnaround time is 6 to 12 business days at the moment. Just make sure that's all visible. Alright. The Ten of Cups, that's a great card. I think we had that recently. Ooh, the Chariot. Oh, the Nine of Swords. Okay, interesting combination of cards there. So the Ten of Cups is a great card to start the week, and as you can see, there is a couple, a couple there holding hands in this card. And it's about feeling like all your cups are full, and there's a very positive energy there. So this week there might be time for you to really enjoy spending time with family, or spending time doing something that you enjoy, which is just what I was saying before with that energy in Leo before it moves into hardworking Virgo next week. Take advantage of any family gatherings, any invitations to enjoy something nice for yourself, and that's involved with other people that you care about, and to just really enjoy life, and to not let the worries get the better of you, because over here we have a lot of anxiety going on as well. So the middle card is the Chariot, which is about trying to master emotions this week. So, you know, it can be a case of basically your emotions are sort of pulling you in two different directions. It can be very black and white emotions. It can be trying to reconcile inner aspects of yourself that are conflicting, because as you can see, the black horse and the white horse, they're opposites, and they're almost pulling in different directions here with the Chariot. So yeah, it's about mastering emotions and different aspects of self, you know, and this is something that a lot of people do struggle with, you know, wanting something but also knowing that you need something else, and trying to work out how to be at peace with yourself in life. And this is for some reason coming up as a struggle this week. Then we have the Nine of Swords, which I mentioned already about, but this is about anxieties coming up this week. And look, there's good things going on this week with the happy family card and the emotions being fulfilled. There could be romantic energy for some people this week, or there could be just more positive developments around family, a bit more what's the word, like more opportunities to connect with people. But, you know, given the cards that are next to it, for some people, it's not that you're necessarily struggling simply with your inner self. It could be that you're struggling with family issues as well. That's another way that I could read this, because of the cards here. We have two cards of, you know, trying to manage emotions and issues within. And, you know, so for some people this is a difficulty with family situation, though I feel like there's potential for healing with this. And although it's stressing you out and causing you some anxiety and worrying thoughts, possibly even sleeplessness, or just generalized anxiety even during the day, you're thinking a lot and things are going through your mind a lot, it could be causing you to feel very, very mentally stressed out. Don't forget Mercury is retrograde, so by next week things should become a little bit clearer with regards to this situation and whatever that relates to in your life. The chakra reading cards, I'm going to pull one card from this beautiful deck of cards here to see what other messages we have for this week. Just want to get one card. Feel towards the back here something. Yeah, I've got this one here. Oh, angels and masters. Interesting. Wow. What a beautiful card. So many colours on it. Okay, so it's the number 33. So for some reason, the first thing that I think of when I see this card is seeing what people call angel numbers or repetitive number sequences, such as 1111 or 111, 333, 444, 555, things like that. Where there's a repetition of numbers. I know for myself, I went through a big phase where I used to see those numbers a lot. Way back when I first started studying astrology, which was back in 1999, year 2000, and I haven't seen them for a while, but lately I've started to see 1111 again in the last few weeks. So that is interesting, and you know, it's about recognizing that there is some kind of symbolic message that's trying to get through to you in some way. And you can actually Google the numbers and find out what the different numbers mean. But it's basically about messages from your angels and guides is what I'm getting with this. And it's just interesting, all the chakras are lining up here. There's something very significant about that. So there could be a message about people from your soul group connecting or communicating with you, or you communicating with them on a telepathic, you know, higher dimensional level. Because when I see like all the chakras lit up like that, it reminds me of being really synchronized with like-minded souls, you know, people that you really connect with, and those people will be people from your soul group, people that are soulmates and so forth. So this week there's some kind of communications. Again, it could reflect with the Mercury retrograde to do with people in your soul group, okay? So it's a bit mysterious, this card, but what I'm getting from it is it's because probably some of the communication is happening on a higher frequency level, even through dreams potentially, or just through telepathy or through the subconscious, that sort of thing. Interesting messages. Okay, well, have a fantastic week, everybody, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.